The idea with marketing and writing, as you're discussing, is just like this idea to clearly communicate, like this simple, clear communication. And lately, maybe not just lately, but right now, we're all infused with this. Like everything is now has a dash of AI. And I've seen you on LinkedIn call out companies for making, AI powered revenue orchestration. And I also saw a piece that you did on your podcast around Palooza, asking people to describe their products without any buzzwords. And it was actually like an impossible task. And you're talking about like the idea of daily writing. And it just got me thinking about like what's happened to us in marketing. Like, why are we so eager to just enter, more writing into the sea of the sameness? Like everything looks the same. Like, why aren't we using simple emotional connections to communicate things? How have we lost our path? What's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, I in general am the kind of person who wants to go back to basics in marketing, back to the feeling. And I talk a lot about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I think
Hmm.
if you're unfamiliar with it, Google it. And then you will see it. It's a pyramid whereby at the top is self actualization, and at the bottom are basic needs like food, water, and shelter, right? And basically, as you as a human being go beyond your basic needs that you need just to survive, you can start doing things like investing in your career and learning skill sets that aren't like building a fire skill sets, right? They're more mind skill sets that help you build a career and help you feel confident. And so there are social elements to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I fundamentally believe that m- in business, people are very bad at connecting to the human element, whether
Hmm.
that is your customer, whether that is your boss, whether that is a peer of yours. People do not, and it's crazy to me how bad people are at this. Like, I have attended CMO happy hours and been like, you people are boring as fuck and like unable to hold a conversation with another human being. And I
Mm.
actually think that this is a skill. Like, I have very specific questions, and they're from a guy named Art Aaron, who's a psychologist, and he has these 32 questions to fall in love with someone, but
Hmm.
you can use them in business. They're things like, if a fire was to, unfortunately befall your home and all of your pets and your kids are and your spouse and all of those things are okay, what's the one thing that you would take from your home? Right? Like, there are questions like that all the way through. Did you grow up with a family that was very physically affectionate? Right.
Mhm.
So, of course, there are things that, you'd have to really get to know someone in a business environment in order to ask that question. But all of the beginning ones are very innocuous. And I just use those at happy hours. Those are the things that I ask other people that I just meet so that I can get to know them. And there's not all these like weird little lulls in conversation.
Mhm.
Now, it's not because I'm a great conversationalist. It's because I had these awkward experiences where I was like, I cannot make conversation with these motherfuckers to save my goddamn life. What am I going to do to solve for this? And I went out and I found questions, and I liked the philosophy of what Art Aaron was doing and blah, 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 right? Like, people need to do shit like that sometimes if you are a socially awkward person, such as myself. Like, I'm an introvert, but I have all of these little tools that I use in order to become less awkward as people. So back to your question of like, why do B2B companies all sound the same? Why do they all blah, 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 blah? Because they're not trying
Mhm.
very hard to be different, is
Mhm.
just the reality. And the thing that people do not talk enough about is that CEOs, most of them in this country, well, you're in Canada, but most of us in North America, we'll just say that, but like, they do not understand marketing. Most of the people who are running businesses come from finance, especially if they're big companies, right? Enterprise level companies, Fortune 500 companies. A lot of those dudes, mostly white men, come from fucking finance. They do not understand marketing. They've never sold something at all. So they don't understand how to communicate one to one to get people to buy something. And they don't understand how to do it in mass, which is my definition of marketing. Marketing is just mass sales. And some people don't like that because then they feel like marketing is like under sales. And I think of it as the exact opposite. I think marketing is an umbrella and under which sales is a main skill set that we have just in mass versus one
Mm.
to one. So, anyways, all of that to say, the reason that it sucks is because people don't care to make it not suck.
Mhm.
It can not suck. It has not sucked in B2C a bunch of times, but even B2C can get confused, right? But I think in B2B, what people are very bad at is communicating the benefit of the benefit, right? So, like, when you think about this in B2C, You never sell grass seed to someone, right? You sell a beautiful lawn to someone because that's what people care about. People want the best lawn in the neighborhood. They don't want to buy fucking grass seed. That is unsexy as hell, right? So like in B2B, nobody wants to buy accounting software.
Mhm.
I didn't wake up today and go, fuck, I'd love QuickBooks in my life. Like I just would love to spend $100 a month on QuickBooks. No, like I have a need, which is less pain in my ass of manually doing invoicing. So I buy accounting software because I want to spend less time on shit I fucking hate, or I want peace of mind. I invest in marketing technology that's easy to use because I don't want to accidentally fuck something up and send the wrong email to people and look like a fucking idiot and hurt my brand and get my boss to yell at me and all of those things. Like B2B companies are just really bad at getting in touch with those kind of emotions and saying like, we don't help you send invoices. We help you sleep better at night.
Mm.
We help you focus on the shit that you actually want to do with your time instead of all of this innocuous shit that you don't want to do. Right? Like we're just really bad at that human connection, but I don't think it's because we can't be better. I just think that the incentives aren't there to really do it because the people who run these companies don't really understand the importance of it. And it all turns into like demand marketing, right? Like, what's the ROI of this going to be? Is
Mhm.
just like, it's like all those corporate I'm ranting, but it's like all of those corporate humorists who talk about all of the bullshit that happens in business communication. And what's the ROI of that going to be is one of those things, right? It's one of those things that people say when they don't know what else to say that's smarter or how to actually accomplish results. They just kind of go, well, what's the ROI of that going to be? Huh? Like, oh, well, you're so smart. Yes. Like, what a great fucking question. And the answer is, marketing is part art and part science. And there are a ton of things that we should be doing that do not have direct correlation to an ROI. And sometimes you have to believe it's like magic.